Hey there. Welcome to With the Boats.
Hey, welcome to Winthrop Votes live stream, live
Oh,
from
yeah.
Winthrop and Boca Raton. Well,
Yes,
you
from
got to get a
my
little,
office attached
got
to
to
the
get a little more
podcast.
excited.
I'm just so floored by all the new toys you have that I was speechless.
Oh, what, like this, like my new angle right here? See?
Right? Like that's
Yeah,
that's something else. I mean,
you can see the whole. You can see what's behind. I got my barber chair right here. Yeah, I got my recliners up there, electric recliners. Yeah,
like
got all my Spawn figures on the wall over here. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd like that. Yeah,
like where else? Where else
yeah.
can you make that happen?
Got my control panel right here. Everything. This is the brains of the operation right here, buddy.
The heartbeat of America, ladies and gentlemen.
The heartbeat of Winthrop Votes.
The heartbeat of
with
Winthrop
all
Boats.
with all 10,000 views.
Well,
But it's
hold
only
on
for
now.
Winthrop, so that's all that matters. It's only
You're
for
selling
Winthrop.
us short, by the way. In
I
60
know.
days, it was 13,000.
There you go.
And
There you go.
who knows, as we get closer to election time, we're getting the Coloroso people are peeking at us, and Caroline. I mean,
Yep.
God love her. She's working hard. I don't know
Yeah.
if
She's got a, it's, as she said, it's an uphill battle.
an interesting week on the page. Actually, interesting day yesterday with
Oh, boy.
you posted that personal pronoun thing, and then we had some people that don't normally chime in, and some that do, and they said they're going to leave and blah blah blah.
So that's the thing, right? It's the page, the group it's the Facebook group. It's a Facebook group, right? It's not perfect. None of them are, right? So every once in a while I'll post something, and this one had to do with well, actually it was relevant. It was relevant.
Timely.
A parent,
Yes,
reached out to me and said, "Hey, my 11-year-old child went to school today, and to a teacher, oh, not all of them, a few didn't. And this is relevant because I have some information pertaining to why and how this happened. Okay, it is an agenda in full swing, and when I'm done with what I have to say and the facts that get thrown out, prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. Anybody that disagrees with what I say, prove me wrong. I say that all the time, and I never get anything solid. I never get anything. Todd, they you have the same problem.
Right? Well, and let's pause there for a second, if you don't mind, because I want to address that. Something I want to say before we get too far into the juicy stuff we're going to get into. There are people me more than you were going back and forth with yesterday about our group, our page. And I want to make it clear that the page is everybody. It's not just us. It's not just you and me. And the tone and tenor of the group and page, I would agree, might be set by us as the admins through the show. And if I just don't appreciate, I don't think it's fair for people to take shots at us and then not have encompassed or enjoyed the whole show or taken part in the whole show, right? And watched enough of us to know. And I'm also, I want to address that we're being called lefty bashers. Look, we've never hidden who we are. We're not lefty bashers. We're bashing things that leftists are promoting. And sure, there are some pop shots in there, but that's not here in the show. That's in the Facebook page. And so I just wanted to kind of address that because I've tried, Scott. I've extended the olive branch numerous times. I've been sincere about it. I've moved closer and closer and closer to being to what that side needed in order to bring them in, and they won't come on. So at your own peril at this point, you don't participate.
Right. It's freedom of choice. But I got called a liberal basher, right? Like my retort to that was, well, because the facts come up and it's related to liberals. You show me a conservative. Show me a conservative. Anybody out there, anybody libertarian, Democrat, Republican, leftist, righty, please, please show me something, anything about a conservative teacher asking children, 11-year-old children, what their preferred pronoun is. Tell me, please. I will come on live. I will get on my knees and I will beg for forgiveness. Father Walter can stand over the ceremony. I will ask, prove me wrong. That's all I say to these people. Prove me wrong. And they just seem to single out, and this isn't whining, this is a fact. They seem to single out when we take shots at liberals that do that stuff. Right?
It's true.
But I said to one of the people, well, you seem to only have selective sight on the page and the group. You don't know, evidently, about the scandal we exposed with the former town council president running the former town manager out of Winthrop and costing the town $180,000. Or when we dig into the budgets, or when we're helping the people at 5 Freemont, or we're stopping the monstrosity up on Shore Drive from going up, or we're not stopping it, we're participating and helping. We've done a number of solid things for the town. We question the garbage. We question the water bill. We question all of it. But certain people only seem to pick out when I say, why do liberal teachers, and again, prove me wrong, have the need to ask an 11-year-old child, what is your preferred pronoun? Right? Like, they take offense to that. Well, you're always, when I did tune into the show, you were liberal bashing. Well, hey,
and there's an important distinction. There's an important distinction to be made there, Scott, because there's a lot of confusion about what we're saying when it comes to the teacher wanting to talk to that student about their pronoun, whatever. What's the harm? The comment that's always made is if one child is helped, if one kid's life is saved. Let me explain.
Little drastic.
Agreed. And let me explain something and maybe someone can find science and data that they can share that's different than this. But let me explain how I understand this. They call it affirming care treatment, whatever it is. The surgery and all that stuff is supposedly care that's supposed to help save lives. Okay. But all the data that's shared that shows that children and people who have had mental challenges because of their confusion of their gender seem to feel better, for lack of a better term, after they've gone through some type of gender affirming care, whether it's just puberty blockers and people calling them by their preferred pronouns. I don't dispute that those people probably feel better in those moments. The problem is, as you follow those people beyond the 10 and 15-year mark, you start to see a tremendous uptick in the detransitioning desire, regret, more depression, suicide. So what I'm saying is, I know if I were a teacher and little Johnny came into my room as a student and wanted to be called little Joanne, I don't want to mess with that because I don't know. I wouldn't want to even play around with that. Not because, ew, gross, like, well, yeah, that too, but I'm not qualified, number one. Number two, I know based upon what I've read that your affirmation does make these people feel better in that moment. But we're not professionals. We shouldn't, and by the way, what we're going to talk about tonight again is relevant, but I did want to make that distinction because no matter how many good intended teachers there are who want to affirm, you really aren't clear. You don't know what you're screwing with here. And we need to stay away from that.
And I've said it, I don't know, a couple dozen times. At no point in the history of this planet, the history of this country, has a child had more access to help in hotlines and websites. There's thousands available every second of every minute of every day for these kids to reach out from the privacy of their own room or with their parents or with their friends or with their parents and their friends, to reach out to somebody and ask for help. These teachers seem to think they are the island. They are the island that these kids swim to. You're not. You're really not. Okay? You're a speck of sand on that beach. You really are. You think more of yourself than you really are. There's more help online for these kids. It's right here. It's at their literal fingertips. But you choose to act like they're ignorant and they don't know any better, so you're going to be the one that saves their life. Wrong. Sorry, you're wrong. You're not that much. You're not that much.
You're not qualified. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not that much. And again, prove me wrong. Anyways, so one person decides, I'm leaving this group and you guys and those guys, and go ahead. Go ahead. We don't care. The Facebook group is a means to an end. It's about the live stream. And we're not going anywhere. This person's like, oh, you guys are a joke. You're a laughingstock. Yeah, maybe in your little liberal sewing circle. And yeah, I took a jab right there because it's a fact. See, a fact is a fact. Most liberal people do not like us. Fact. They might not wish us any harm, but they just don't like us. So, of course, when you get in that sewing circle, that's what you do. You gang up, you bash. There's right-wingers, there's libertarians, do the same thing about liberals. It's normal. We don't care. And I can speak for Todd. Leave. Not going anywhere. Because for every one person that leaves, 3 people seem to join. So,
and by the way, for those people that are leaving,
it's episode 54, by the way. We're not going anywhere.
and those people that have again told me to stop contacting them after I've tried to work with them.
Fine.
I'd encourage you guys to look up this person, Samuel Donner. Samuel Donner is apparently a liberal, very liberal. I don't know if you call him an activist. I found him on LinkedIn because I saw him on Fox News because he went to Trump rallies because he wanted to see what this was all about. And he reported back how surprised he was at how nice and accepting everybody was.
Yeah.
So we are trying. You're not, just saying.
Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my half Filipino shirt in
racist
in honor of Stop Asian Hate, because evidently that's not an agenda for teachers or leftist liberals. It's something that pops up in the newspapers and they go, oh, and then it's gone. Then
I'm an ultra MAGA.
Yeah.
I'm an ultra MAGA Republican that wants
Stop
to hate
Asian
everybody.
Hate doesn't seem to matter to them. They really don't, because when you dig deep into the Asian hate, it really goes against their agenda. It really goes against their agenda. I mean, heavily against their agenda when you look at where the majority of the Asian hate comes from. So they're forced to make a choice, and they make their choice. I choose the Asian half. So, all right, moving on.
We digressed.
We digress. So, yeah, I got a message from a concerned parent the other day saying that their 11-year-old was asked by almost to a teacher what their preferred pronoun was. And I got some, and I put it out there, and I got some kickback from a teacher who said you should be more concerned that the child doesn't understand a pronoun. See, they were so quick to jump in and judge. So quick to jump in and judge. They didn't get the context of the child did not understand why a person would be called a pronoun like that. They have no concept of this. This child had no concept of that. But this teacher decides to say, you should be more, and then started talking about the privilege of the Winthrop school system. The privilege of Winthrop.
The privilege.
They hit all the.
How about the privilege, by the way, brother, that she has to make those statements freely in this country that you helped provide by your service to our country? How about that privilege?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So that set off a whole, back and forth. People leaving, people branding us and labeling us, and we don't care. But then, to their dismay, it will be right now. Oh, by the way, those people that say they leave, they never leave. They watch. They can't help it. They got to watch the car wreck, the train wreck.
That's why they called it a train wreck.
So they think it is. So they think it is.
Watch it.
Yeah. Must-see live stream.
Yeah, before you say what you're about to say, this is actually really kind of funny, timely, because this is exactly what they don't want to have They don't want to hear this right now. So people paying attention to this is exactly what we've been talking about, that we've been reporting has gone on in other school districts.
That they're denying.
And it's here.
They're denying. Oh, no. So I have an extremely credible source in the Winthrop school system. Was reached out to me numerous times, and their information has always been accurate and correct. They are an employee of the Winthrop school system, and I'll leave it at that. Be an administrator. It could be somebody on the school committee. It could be, you just don't know, but somebody's reaching out and giving me some really solid information. And I got something actually about an hour and a half ago, before we came on. Evidently, there was a faculty meeting today at the middle school. And one of the subjects on the agenda was teachers asking students about their pronouns in public, in front of everybody. Right? Teachers, not a teacher. Teachers. Too late, but this came from the superintendent down to the principal, and it was relayed in not so many words. Cool it. Cool it. Teachers, see, they were organized. If this wasn't planned, I don't know what was, because a majority of teachers, or a lot of teachers, let's say a high percentage of teachers, I'll say a high percentage of the teachers, already incorporated the pronouns and what is your pronouns into the getting to know you activities with the students. Now, I'm going to stop right there. If any of you teachers or administrators or workers or school committee members think I'm lying, prove me wrong. Again, you can't. You will not be able to, because this is factual stuff. The superintendent told the teachers, cool it, stop that stuff. But they already knew they were going to get it in, and they did. Let me see. Evidently, no, I won't say that. I won't say that. There is a core group, it seems, of LGBTQ plus teachers that are really pushing this agenda hard. Bullying tactics. The thing that they say they hate the most, they now do. Oh, it happened to me growing up, and now they are the bulliers, right?
And on a side note to that, Scott, too, as we've been posting and I've been sharing out on Instagram and Facebook group, we have evidence of this in other districts. So this just isn't a one-time thing. This is happening everywhere, right?
It's going on in Winthrop.
We've got people in we have principals, assistant principals, teachers lying to parents here and everywhere now. This is it. This has been proven.
And that has happened already. This school year. It's already happened. The teachers were told to don't talk to parents. Don't tell parents. They were just basically told. So this was sent to me. This is outside the gym. All right. Now it's a little blurry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you this. It's a little disturbing because this is the middle school.
It's not up yet.
No, I know. I'm pulling it up on my phone so I can.
Got
so
it.
This is outside. Let me take down the phone number so we can get the full scope. Now it's blurred. This is outside the gym. Okay. This is outside the gym. Now the flag on the left that has the black stripe in it on the top, the words that gender fluid. Then move to the right. The green and blue flag says gay men's. I don't know why it's plural. Gay men's. To the right of that, with the lavender and green, gender queer. All right. That little one, I don't know what that one is. It has nothing written on it. Then you go to the brown one to the right under allies. It says asexual. This is it's outside the gym. Okay. Then you go to the blue and pink. That says transgender. And the one to the right, the red and the blue, it's bisexual.
What?
So
Wait. I just want a quick question here. Wasn't it back in the day when liberals were telling conservatives to stay out of the bedroom, and now they're blasting the bedroom in the middle school outside the gym?
They don't want you praying in public schools, but they want this.
I mean, is anybody starting to see what's going on here? Like, come on.
They don't want to use the word God or Santa or Christmas, but they want this.
Demisexual.
So, well, let me drop down to the far right corner underneath bisexual. That one says, yep, demisexual. Then move to the left with the LSU colors. Purple.
LSU colors. Oh, my God.
That is non-binary. Then you move to the left with the orange, red, and white. Lesbian. You couldn't use that word. Then move to the left. It looks like, I don't know, some flag from South America. Pansexual. Then you get the circle. Intersex. Then on the end, with just the bland gray, white, and green, agender. This is in our school.
Stop singling people out.
This is in the school. Today, it's there. And it'll be there tomorrow. And it's acceptable. This is acceptable for middle schoolers. I guess this is the middle school.
Oh,
or it's just outside the gym, unless they use the high school and middle schoolers both use the gym.
Dude, Jared Wickham writes, but I'm sure if you put up an Israeli flag, you'd be anti-Palestine and would be immediately removed. And I think he's spot on.
Oh, absolutely.
Straight options, absolutely not.
So this is what's going on, and I have more. Hold on, this is just what's I have more in a message that was sent to me. So this is evidently the bulletin board, right? These kids are confused enough, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
As middle schoolers, they're still trying to figure out things about themselves, like. They can't make a decision, but listen, the agenda is the agenda. And that core group seems to really want to push this. And anyone can come on this show and prove me wrong. I will not bite your head off. Todd won't bite your head off. We can have a discussion about this, a serious discussion, a professional, calm discussion. If anybody in the community or any of the teachers think that there's nothing wrong with this. So then it says, let me see. The dress code, I guess there was a dress code that was drastically changed. Let me take the garbage down. That's what that is. That's just garbage. There was a dress code that was drastically changed, passed by the school committee, by the way, and I'll get to that. It was late with the old dress code in the Winthrop public school system. The Winthrop public school system, the old dress code. Now, dress codes in public schools are pretty lax, wouldn't you say, Todd?
Yes.
Right? It's not uniform, right?
No.
The dress code was changed this year because this went through the school committee, so I think people need to start talking to them, because the old one was too punitive to females and tramples their 14th Amendment right to express themselves. Now they're concerned about amendments. Now they're concerned about amendments. Yeah, look at that. Which basically, these kids can just let it all hang out. They can be twerking in the hallway. They can wear the booty shorts. tube tops, hollaback girls. They can do it all now. And you know what that does? Just gets these young men, when their hormones are starting to pop up. What do you think is going to happen eventually?
Jim,
is
that's
this not a recipe for disaster?
That's right, Scott. But it's the boys' fault always. Remember,
It's the boys' fault.
And you know what?
Well, they're going to be staring at this. They're going to be staring at this all day.
I mean, it always is their fault, to be honest with you. But why invite? Right? It's like pushing for bike lanes. Oh, this is a good one. It's like, why would you ride a bike down the street with traffic passing behind you on a narrow street? When you get hit, no matter whose effing fault it is, you're screwed. I mean, it's the same thing with this stuff. You taunt trouble, even if it's not your fault, it still hurts the person who's taunting the trouble.
It's every adult's job in the school system. Teachers, administrators, workers, janitors, coaches, to protect these kids, right? This isn't protection. This isn't protection.
Not.
And evidently the wording to the dress code was presented to the school committee, was written, I believe, it was constructed by a teacher in the middle school. By a teacher in the middle school. Constructed the wording so that it would pass the school committee. Right? So they're all for this. They're all for this. It's a male teacher watching these 12, 13-year-old girls. Listen, you might not like what I'm about to say, but this is really bordering on grooming, really bordering on that. This is bringing out a sexual nature in a child that has no right to come out. Now, this isn't saying every child is going to do this, right? There are logical parents in the town of Winthrop that will not let their kids go to school like this, but we know how kids are. All you do is just go in the girls' room and change. Pull that, minimal amount of clothing out of your backpack and change, and then change. They could do it at school, just like the teachers can't tell the parents if a child wants to be called, Jim or it or they, right? Same thing. This is insane. Actually, parents have already pulled their a child out of the Winthrop school system. Now, I'm not going to suggest that, but I'm going to suggest that. Your child is probably safer homeschooled than they are in the middle school. If you're a parent that has an iota of common sense and dignity and pride in your child and wants to raise your child the way you want to raise them, not the way teachers think you should raise them. I'm telling you, if you're a parent or if you're a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle of a child in the Winthrop school system right now, you need to beware. And if you know somebody, tell them about this. Tell them to watch this video, because everything I read to you is true. And I give the superintendent, I can be hard on her, Lisa Howard, right?
Yes, it is.
I give her 100% credit for stepping up and saying, cool that off. But the teachers knew that would come, so they got it done early and often. But I give her credit for stepping up.
Well, the question becomes, why aren't they just demanding to take it down? And I know the answer kind of, because this is a state, this is kind of a state mandated thing.
Bingo.
That they can't. And so, guys, pay attention to what's happening to public schools right now is not a good thing. Everything in government is very slow, like erosion slow, but deliberate. And we can all look back 50 years, even only 30 years, maybe even 20 years to the school systems and see a huge difference. And this isn't don't give me this progress stuff as necessary, because not all progress is good. Having progress to the point where sixth graders are being exposed to complex sexual issues that are actually mental health issues being disguised as a transgender issue in order to indoctrinate people into some type of cult, because that's what it is. People are preying on these people are victims. It's true. Yes, I agree. The gender dysphoric folks have high suicide rates. I agree. They're being victimized by, and maybe it's not on purpose. Maybe they're well intended and they don't realize what
Not
they're
all
doing.
of them, though. Not all of them.
No, not all of them.
But
Some
they
of them
make
are
it sound
deliberate.
like every single one of them are.
No, some of them are deliberate. Some of them are deliberate, and some of them are just well intended, and if they've fallen for it because it feels good to make someone feel good, right? It feels good to make someone that's having a bad day feel good. It's like a drug. It's an endorphin, and so I understand that the immediate reaction to say, what's the harm in affirming someone who's going through a hard time? Well, what's the harm in letting someone have that hit of heroin one more time? What's the harm in giving someone $10 to go buy some just so, I mean, there are consequences to everything we do. And when we're not paying attention, and I have been saying this for years, that our schools are being corrupted. I couldn't put my finger exactly on what it all was because it's a moving target, because now they're trying to rewrite history. And, now they're after they've taken advantage of this gender dysphoria and really have, blown it out of proportions. The clinics and doctors' offices, and I put up a screenshot on Facebook the other day. Between 2007 and 2022, the number of clinics and gender reassignment surgery facilities that have opened across the country grew like 200 to 300%. That is, and it's not just because they're coming out of the shadows now. It's not it, because not everyone's going to go through all of those processes. It's because they're being misled at young ages to think they need to have gender affirmation surgery and gender affirmation care when maybe they're tomboy. Have you ever heard of a tomboy? I know a tomboy. I know a tomboy pretty well.
My wife is one of the most beautiful women you'll ever see. That's a fact.
Well,
she was a tomboy.
Imagine if they encouraged her, because she might have been having, they're calling me a boy. I feel
she
like
was
a boy.
An absolute tomboy.
Imagine if they had to try to take her, and put a thing on her and mutilate her. I mean, come on.
The Philippines doesn't mess. The Philippines got it right.
She was safe over there on that front.
But
you get my point.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going on in the Winthrop school system. The middle school seems to be out of code. This middle school principal, who's the principal? Do we know?
We do know, and I'm going to forget, but you keep talking and I'll find it.
Yeah, well, the middle school principal has their hands full.
It's either Crombie. Go ahead, keep.
But they need to get this under wraps. And again, you have that core group of teachers that just bulldoze through everything. And they don't care. Like, they were the ones that said, I got picked on when I was a kid, so now I'm going to be the picker. I got harassed when I was a kid, so I'm going to be a cop now, and I'm going to be that cop that says, I don't like people like you because people like you used to pick on me. This is exactly what they are. They are exactly what they hated. But they'll never see it because they're getting their way. Human nature dictates. You get your way, you're happy, no matter how you do it.
Brian Curley.
Oh, Brian has his hands full.
Brian
Curley needs to get this under wraps.
Brian's got to get to work and clean this mess up.
But I suggest, if this was my kids in the Winthrop school system today, you know how easy it is now to homeschool a kid? All right, it's not easy, but it's easier than it ever was. If COVID came across anything, it's easier than it's ever been, just like these children with identity crisis. It's easier than it's ever been in the history of the planet to get help, to find help, to seek help, to talk to people, to FaceTime people. Teachers, again, you think way too much of yourselves, the ones that think that they're going to save this kid's life. They love going to that drastic edge, too. They really do. Like, if I save one child's life, you know what? They have other options than you. They do. And I'm not downplaying the role of a teacher in a child's life. I had some great teachers. Great teachers. Mr. DeRosa, the greatest teacher I ever had. You know what he didn't do? Talk to me about my identity and my sexuality. That's what Mr. DeRosa didn't do. All right? Mrs. Brugman never talked to me about what my preferred pronouns are. I could go down the list of great teachers that I had. But this generation of teachers, they're something else. They're They're a different breed. They are activists. They're not teachers. They're activists first, teachers second. Remember that. They're activists. All right. I feel better.
You feel better, Jim? Hi, Jim.
Jim.
Why do I keep calling you Jim?
What?
Why do I keep calling you Jim?
Okay, Paul. All right, Paul.
Wendy.
Hey, Joey. How you doing tonight, Joey? Hey.
I'm so flustered by all of this. Like
it's going on. It's this is proof positive that it's happening.
You know,
and this is a very reliable source.
And I want to emphasize again that regardless of what anybody thinks, these are our children. And that argument about some of the parents aren't that great falls flat, because those kids, if you have parents that aren't responsive to you about their child, that's what Child Protective Services is for. You are classroom teachers. You are there to do a job, and psychological support is not one of them.
I can tell you right now, my stepson's a teacher now. He's not asking any students their preferred pronouns. And he teaches middle school and high school. He's not asking any of them that.
My sister-in-law was a teacher, a principal, all of it.
His best friend from college got a job at the same school.
They don't
ironically enough. They don't ask kids what
they find it odd that someone would want to.
And they do. I asked him, and he just kind of shucked at me like, what? So this is a planned, they're activists. Those teachers are activists. That's all there is to it. They're going to try to push this and guide it through. Fortunately, probably 90% of these kids are going to look back when they get out of high school and go, what the hell was that? Remember that teacher? Jesus, that was crazy. You know, they're not doing the service they think they are, but it makes them feel good about themselves.
When I shared that story about my experience in the E.B. Newton with Principal Fulham, right? Think about the bullet I dodged. I mean, that's of all the things that have broken me in my life, that wasn't one of them, fortunately.
Right.
But other kids that stood next to me, it actually did break them.
Yeah.
I'm never going to mention names, obviously, but
no.
You know, some of them have reached out to me and said, boy, I'd like to come on and talk about it, but my family just won't let me. And we, respect. But the point being, this stuff happens. And I know that issue was however many years ago, but nobody thought it was happening then. Nobody thought it was happening 20 years later, and people still don't think it's possible now. And everybody scratches their head going, how can you guys talk like that about teachers? It's like, we're not talking about all of them. First of all, we're not, but let's not forget that some of those well-intended teachers think that their love and their attention and their affirmation is going to save a kid's life. And they don't understand that there are always unintended consequences. It's not there always are. There are always unintended consequences.
Now, I have to get this out too. There are teachers also that have a liberal mindset that don't get involved in that stuff. So I do not want to in any way, shape, or form generalize teachers with a liberal mindset. I don't want to do that because there are some that don't get involved in that. They aren't activists. They just want to teach. Some of them are my friends. There's some in the Winthrop school system. Maybe. The person that's contacting me is
that raises a good point, Scott.
Is maybe somebody that just wants to teach and doesn't think that their politics don't have anything to do with the students. Maybe.
Well, like I said, it raises a good point. That
some good teachers out there.
Yes, there are. There are some very good teachers, and the ones that are committed to the cause are easy to spot, and the ones not so much. And that the ones not so much are usually the ones that are in the old days. They used to hang around in the teachers lounge, smoke cigarettes, and complain. Now they're the ones that stand out in front of the school with signs that say "Poverty pay not okay" and wear pink shirts. And half of them aren't teachers in our district. But that's a story for another day. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that story another day.
So, yeah. Anything else on this subject? Because we're going to switch gears in a big way.
Oh, are we? Well, we going to 5 Fremont?
We're going to 5 Fremont, buddy.
Well, I guess I'll say before we go to 5 Fremont,
Got some interesting stuff on 5 Fremont that we've been
there
looking
is
for.
there's please pay attention now. Please pay attention, and you know, I'll share this with you real quick, Scott. Let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah.
This was shared to me from someone, shared with me from someone who lives up in Swampscott. The bottom line is, okay, parents are trying to be blocked out of schools in every single way. They're trying to charge these folks $45,000 for a public records request.
Let Winthrop try to do that.
Yeah, make no mistake.
Let Winthrop try to do that. Try.
Make no mistake. They're trying to keep certain things out of the public eye.
Look at that
You had
great
school committees call parents terrorists in other parts of the country. I know that hasn't happened here, but you've certainly had town council members here call me racist.
Yeah. Yeah, town council members. But the school committee, do not forget the school committee passed that. The Winthrop School Committee passed that the uniform
Dress code rule.
the
Yep.
dress code rule.
Yep.
We're gonna get our hands on that.
Gotta
And I
find that.
guarantee you, your friend, she voted for it. I'm sure she probably pushed hard for it. Because, hey, listen, let this 13, 12-year-old girl just wear the booty shorts. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
look
wrong with
huge.
that.
They look so
Look at-
cute.
Look at nothing wrong with looking like Lizzo when you're 12. Come on. What's wrong with that?
I thought it was the one who wrote Cannonball. What's her name?
Yeah, Cannonballs.
Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus, another one. No, if you ain't seen Lizzo, right?
What did you ever watch? Chrisley Knows Best.
No, I don't watch any of that crap.
Do you know who he is though?
No.
Well, he's a whatever. It's a reality show anyway. He used to call his daughter come down the steps one day in a pair of shorts he didn't want her to wear, and he goes, "You are not wearing those coochie cutters to school."
Well, evidently it's all right in Winthrop.
It's a
all
trend
right.
now.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all
And I don't need anybody sending me pictures saying this is what the kids look like. I don't.
no, thank you. No
I don't
kiddie
want
porn.
those.
No kiddie porn.
Because that's what that is.
Yep. Keep
That's what that is. So, yeah. Again, we got to address the school board, the school committee. Maybe next week we'll have that. But if you know anybody that's got kids in the Winthrop school system, and they don't watch us, go to the YouTube channel. You can grab this YouTube. You can grab this episode off it. Send it to them. Send it to the teachers. Send it to that core group in the middle school. Somebody please come on and tell us why they think this is right and where their standards and morals are, on what level they are.
Yeah, like really, I'd like to understand the reasoning.
I do. I really want to know why.
Why?
I mean, of course, I'm going to disagree with them, and I'm not going to think that it makes sense until they maybe make me see what they see.
It's not going to happen if you don't talk to us
No,
about it. Talk to someone about
they'll
it.
always say, "Oh, you're not going to listen. You're just going to bully me and talk to me like what? Like you bully the other teachers? Really?" Right. Sounds like the principal's getting bullied too. But hey, Lisa Howard, she tried to get a grip on it. She's getting a grip, hopefully, and she can get it fixed. She's got her hands full because this group is they're all full bore.
I don't know what life like at home was for Lisa when we were younger, but we hung around. We were younger, and she fell under the definition of a tomboy. She's a great athlete. She kept up with all the boys, right? She'd be an example of someone who completely, you look at her now and you say, wow, they called her a tomboy. I mean, completely different. So again, just goes to show stages happen.
Yeah.
Sure, she wouldn't be happy about me talking about that.
Moving on.
We were
5
kids.
Fremont.
We were kids.
That's okay. 5 Fremont. So I got a copy of the what were we looking at? The building certificate.
Building, yeah.
The building permit, right? Let me pull up the first. Is this the first one?
Did you do it for you?
No.
I can't see. That's small.
Yeah. All right. So this basically says,
Hold on.
you know what? Let me get rid of this on the side. See what this does. No, that doesn't do anything. It's just the way it's coming out.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. So this says basically licensed construction supervisor, blah, blah, blah. It just goes down the line. Doesn't really say much. Building setbacks. Let me see.
0. Required front yard, 0. Required right side yard, 0.
Required rear yard setbacks, 10.
1.
Right?
Yep. 10.
All right. So let's go over to this. Registered architect, right, has the phone number. Registered professional engineer, gives the name, engineer's name, general contractor, Barrett Construction, they're in Revere. You go to the next one. All right, this is evidently page 1. The way it uploaded was kind of wrong. So the applicant's name, John Barrett, primary location, 54 Pauline Street, owner, 5 Fremont Street, LLC, project info, new construction, right?
Yep.
Brief description, construction. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up on my phone because last week it came out good. You never know how these prints are going to come out, right? So let's see.
Oh my God.
What's that? All right, here we go.
I see where you're going. 20 units.
Yeah. So it says site. All right, give me a brief description of project. Construct a new mixed-use residential commercial structure, 4 stories proposed. Each floor is 3,900 square feet. Total of 13,380 square feet. Total height 47 feet, 62 inches. Site construction information, current use, other. If other, please specify 20 units. That means they have to have 40 spots, right? Proposed use, residential and commercial, zoning district, center business district. All right, now let's go over here. Go to the next one. Let's see. Does this have anything really on it? This doesn't really say much. Use group business, mixed use. Are you an employee? I'm the sole proprietor or partnership. It goes on and on. Then you go to this one. This is where it gets interesting. So you see all those? I wish I could pull this up better, but I'm going to read it to you. So those are a bunch of PDFs. Let me see. Is that the one? Oh, here's the one. Barrett, Umbrella. So there's a history here. There's a timeline. Is this where the timeline began? Didn't really have time to get this really together. Didn't come up. So anyways, we'll go with this because this pretty much let's see. Here we go. So this is the one I really want to talk about. So the date is from the top. I'm going to read down. I'm sorry it's blurred, but October 5th, 2021 says Sharon Ciccarella changed brief description of proposed work from construct to, a new mixed-use residential and commercial structure to construct a new mixed and residential and commercial structure. Okay? That was at 2:33 p.m. on October 5th. October 13th, Al Legee assigned approval, step assessor's approval to C.J. Carroll on record BC 41. Then on October 13th, 2021, at 12:42, Al Legee approved approval step plan review on record. So he approved approval step plan review on record, whatever that means. October 13th at 12:42 at the same time, approval step tax review was assigned to Eric Doyle.
This is probably a software that breaks things down into steps, and at every step of the way you have to hit an approval. So there's a record of the approval.
Yeah. So goes down a couple. Let me go to the last 7. So October 14th, completed payment step permit fee on record. Now, October 14th at 10:03, Al Legee assigned inspection step inspection to Al Legee. At 10:03, Al Legee assigned inspection step final inspection to Al Legee. October 26th at 8:27 a.m., Al Legee assigned inspection step to Lil Papa on record. At the same time, at 8:27, Al Legee assigned inspection step final inspection to Papa. On May 19th, Al Legee assigned inspection step inspection to Russ Standard. On May 19th, Al Legee assigned inspection step final inspection to Russ Sanford. In here, it showed that Al Legee also signed for the plans, the building plans, like it was checked off. Let's see. Sorry for the dead air.
You better do something about it.
Well, you can pick up some of the slack for me. I know you're in a precarious position here, Todd.
No, I'm actually good. I'm just waiting for you to be done.
Oh, well then
Are
I'm
you
done.
done? No. I mean, going through this page. Are you not done?
Okay, let me take it off.
Oh, okay. You are done. Okay. So let me ask a question. Do we know now? I mean, what do we know? Because there was a hearing that didn't happen that supposedly happened.
I don't know. Didn't it get delayed till September?
I don't know. That's a good question because again, this whole thing, like, well, first of all, in talking to my friend, and he put his name out there on the page when it came to all the trash that we saw. He posted.
More, I got another picture of that. There's more trash again. The same person. Let's see.
Put it up there. I just drove by there today, so it might have been there, but it could be gone again.
So I got it said. Unfortunately, the dumpster problem was rearing its head up. I got this on Monday, yesterday.
Put it up.
The attached pictures are from this weekend. Some of them after the dumpsters were emptied. The trash pickup refused to deal with the maggots. And it's, I don't know if you can see that.
Blurry as all heck.
Can't really see it. Yeah.
If that's the maggot.
It's behind Michael's Mall. And there's dumpsters that are overflown. I could try to send them. Hold on. I'll send this one. This is the beauty of live stream. We're not.
Yeah. No. So here's the process for the dumpster being emptied at Michael's Mall. It's Monday and Fridays. They come and empty it. That's what happens down there. And I talked to Aaron about this pretty extensively. The guys come out of Nick's to take their lunch. They're sitting right near that gate near Michael's Mall, having a smoke in the shade, eating their lunch, whatever. Sometimes a little bit of trash gets blown around there. That gets taken care of too. There have been people abusing the Michael's Mall trash, throwing their own trash in there since the trash fee started. He's put cameras in. So I do think we're going to have to live with a day or two here and there of trash piling up. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Right.
Because you could go over to any restaurant. You could go over to Taitaki. They all have dumpsters behind them, right out back, I believe their dumpsters are. Unless, of course, he uses all that one dumpster he has there is not enough for all those places. So I think they all have their own dumpster. I'd have to go look behind the building and see. But I'll go down there tomorrow. Check it out. See what's up. I'm not worried about him.
No. There we go. I got them right here. Up this over here. Up this over here. There we go. So you have this. And you have this.
Okay, so.
And that was after the dumpster. They wouldn't take this, evidently, according to the
They
Person that
wouldn't.
sent me.
Okay, so they came and they wouldn't take it.
Yeah, the message says
It's a whole nother issue.
some of them. All right. Unfortunately, the dumpster problem is rearing its head up again. Detached pictures are from this weekend. Some of them are after the dumpsters were emptied. The trash pickup refused to deal with the maggots.
So that's strange, but well, with whoever's sending that, if you're
Yeah.
listening, if you go to our page, Aaron's phone number, the phone number to call is there. He will take action. Make a call.
Very good.
Yep,
Very
he
good.
put his number out there. Make a call. Thank you for sharing.
Let me see something. Here we go. I'm gonna pull something up because I might have missed something on my because there's something in here that says plans. I'm gonna go back to 5 Freemont. And it says, let me see. Registered architect. Eric Construction. Yeah, I'm going to have to find it again. Oh, it says, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Let me see if I can pull this one up again. I think I missed it. It's at the bottom. It's on these check marks. So right here, this first one, the first check mark, where below it says timeline, plan review.
Yep.
Plan review complete. October 4th, 2021. It was activated. Completed October 13th, 2021. Assignee Al Legee. So he did the plan review?
Well, that might just mean that he, I don't know. I need more information. There's a lot of options here, though. There could have been a hearing, which I don't think
wasn't,
there was.
because
right.
The planning board said they never saw any of this. Remember that. That's very key in this whole thing.
Of course.
And according to one of the family members, the planning board is already making, accommodations for the builders. So, and they're not happy about that, and we'll address that.
Who's not happy? The builders or the
family?
Family.
Yeah. They said the planning board, and the quote was, "This is bullshit." The planning board is already, because the Cross family is very involved in this.
Well, they should be.
They're at every meeting. Yeah.
They've got something growing outside their house that they have a right to be heard on, period, the end.
So the planning board, the town manager, town council president, town councilors, everybody needs to have their eyes on this, because this family got the royal kielbasa on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But according to the town manager, it was a mistake. Al made a mistake.
Al made a mistake. Al made a mistake.
Big.
I'm more concerned, frankly. I'm not. I'm concerned for the family the most. I mean, honestly, my best bet for me, I would hope that there's an opportunity there for the developer. There's an opportunity there for him to walk away from this looking good, depending upon what the owners of that home want to do. Because he could, no matter how it plays out, he could buy that up and just expand his building, and everybody's happy.
Buy what up?
The Cross family house.
Why would they sell?
Why would you want to live?
Are they being forced to sell? By that rationale, we're going to force you to sell because this isn't going anywhere. So if you want to not see it, sell me your house.
Let me ask you this question then. When you buy near a commercially zoned district, and I'm not saying I don't have an opinion, I'm asking yours. What do you expect in terms of living inconveniences?
You know what I expect, my friend? You know what I expect? I expect the damn neighborhood to know this monster's going up. I expect the damn neighborhood to be able to have a voice in this. I expect the planning board and the appeals board and every board and committee to have a say in what goes on. Just like we did at Shore Drive, we could have done it with this. Everybody needs a voice. None of them got it. That's what these people should have, and that's what they expected. That's what they didn't get.
Okay, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen, and I agree with you.
That's huge.
Now what would you expect? And remember, you're gonna have. I'm not saying what happened should have.
You know what I would say?
You know me.
I would say bring it into zoning. Move it 10 feet back. Tear it down. If you're gonna do it right. Move it 10 feet off my property, not right up to my fence. at least it's some sort of victory for these people. There has to be a fire break right there. There has to be.
Well, not necessarily. If you
No.
Well, if you
So
look
the fire
at
department's just going to go and these people like what?
if you look down the center, buildings are touching each other, and they're residential.
And
Buildings.
when were those buildings built?
Well, they just built the monstrosity on Somerset. They're finishing it now.
And it's a zero lot line. Fire department can't get down one side.
No,
or
they
the
can
other.
get down the street. They can get down Somerset from
So
Pleasant.
they come down Somerset. So they're looking at the monstrosity. I call it the big green monster. 'Cause
Yeah.
It looked like Fenway when it was a
Yes.
green board.
Yes.
And I actually thought that would have been pretty cool to make that. I mean, I would have liked that. But I don't live there, so but that would have looked kind of cool.
That's all we got now.
I know. But that would have looked kind of cool if you think about it.
When you come down Somerset, you can
So
go
if
up.
I'm standing in front of the house,
Yep. To the left
Is
of
it-
it, there's no way to go by.
you can't go down the side of the house.
No. On the right of it, you can go up that street. I
So
forget the name of that street.
If there's a fire, they have to get on top of the roof of the house right next to it.
wait
Or
till
the
they
building
build
right
up
next to
that
it?
building next. That building's gonna have every building down there's gonna have 4 stories
So
on
if
top
there's
of
a
it.
fire right there,
Like
they
East
can't
Boston,
get
my
to it.
friend. That's commercial zone.
also somebody sent me something about Al Legee's little project right down the street from me.
Somerset on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, someone said he got away with that, or he's getting away with that. Did he already get away with it?
I don't know. We need information.
I have information on it.
Well, we should talk about it because I will say that. Listen, I've never
we'll
met
bring it up next
Al
week.
Legee in my life, but I've heard nothing but nice and good things about him. So I do not want to destroy a man who may have.
I'm not destroying a man.
I didn't say
I'm
you are.
destroying how he's doing his job.
I just want to be careful. That's all.
I got you.
You know.
Let's see. I got a brief. Here we go. I have a brief.
You're talking about the project on Somerset now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got pictures. We can talk about this next week because I got pictures, and I have a quit claim deed from Al Legee.
Oh, next week might have to be a holiday, by the way.
It's a holiday.
Well, for me.
What's
We'll talk later.
What's the holiday? September 10th?
No, Patriots Dolphins.
Ah, that's right. That's right. That's this Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Coming up.
Leaving Thursday
We
night.
can do it Tuesday night.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, we could. Yeah. You know what?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I'm sure the Winthrop vote.
Well, this
stands.
episode certainly again. Pay attention, right?
Pay attention.
Pay attention. You have your school is
Activists.
Yes, there are activists in there. There are activists in there. There are activists in there. They're in the ranks.
I watched
There,
as soon
I
as we
said
got done with that subject. I watched the numbers dropped a little, so there were people tuning in
Yeah.
to hear what we have to say.
By the way, before we close, I want to mention that the tree issue on Somerset Ave. It's interesting that ring video that was posted of the 2 gentlemen walking by the tree to conduct an experiment. One was a blind man. I know who both of those people are. I'm not saying anything who they are, but I know who they are. But that video has had 700, almost 800 views.
I heard it got taken. Did it get taken down?
No, it's still up there. I didn't.
Somebody contacted me and they said I commented on the view and I commented on that video and I got kicked out. Then again.
Oh well, I kicked someone off. Brittany, who was it?
Don't say any names.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Don't
Whoever it was, I kicked them off because they blocked me. You're not allowed to post on our page if you block one of the admins. Wake up. Jesus Christmas, what's wrong with you? But for the record, by the way, I just want everybody.
Can I block you?
You want to go head to head?
Sometimes I want.
Yeah, you're only human.
I love you, buddy.
The people who voted to save that tree, when you look at that video, when you listen, and when you hear the man's opinion, and you put it all together, they're ableists. They're ableists. Joe Aiello, you're an ableist. I thought they were arborists. Now that they think they're arborists, you're ableists. You because you can do it because it doesn't affect you. The blind man cannot safely pass that tree, and it's an absolutely arrogant thought to
They're
think
blocking
it's
you
fine
out.
for him to cross the street to get by the tree. That is elitism, arrogance, and ableism, and all 5 of you should be ashamed of yourselves.
By the way, how's the guy going to find the crosswalk?
Oh, there'll be beepers in the bumpy
So they're going to
parts
put
of the.
beepers on 2 crosswalks within 10 feet of each other.
Yeah, well, not necessarily, because I asked about that, and they said no, you can't just put crosswalk where you want. There's a whole thing about that too.
Yeah.
In other words, the crosswalks. How's this? It's actually would be possible if someone wanted to. If their house was in between the 2 crosswalks, they might have to, and the tree was there, they might have to cross the street twice to get to their house. Like that. That's possible. Highly unlikely, but possible. So I don't know. I can't. I know some of those people that I'm mad at. Those 5 people that voted to cut down to save that tree. I'm mad at for that, and some of them I could care less that
I'm sure the blind man is mad at them too.
Well, he doesn't live there.
They don't
but
seem to care because the squad is the squad.
He doesn't
The
live there,
squad.
but he's not happy about. He's like, this is not a
Doesn't
fair
matter.
thing to do. This wasn't fair. It's not ADA compliant. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Hey,
It
whether
is
he
what it
lives
is.
there or not doesn't mean it's not going to affect a disabled person. What if the person's in an electric wheelchair?
There is a
It doesn't
there is a
matter.
person who drives around Winthrop in his electric wheelchair. Now,
Yeah.
God bless him. He drives down the middle of the street, and I love him for it. But
Hey,
if he ever tried to get by that tree, he couldn't make it.
yeah,
Make it.
it doesn't pass the litmus test.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close. And I want to add to that. I just
Yeah.
want I want to keep saying this because this logic is amazing that the tree nuts ignore. You fought and you won. Okay, so
Temporarily.
maybe that tree lives 30 years from now. 30 years, and in 30 years that tree falls down. And guess what? You will not have in 30 years. 3 other trees that had 30 years to grow. So now you've lost. You've sold the future of the tree canopy for 1 tree.
Todd,
You're not that bright.
It's not going to fall on their house.
You're not that bright. You're not as smart as you think you are.
Out of sight, out of mind.
DV and JWP.
Hey, all right.
And
No
I'm not
doxing.
saying
No
PYT.
doxing. Although I am still looking for names. I pretty sure maybe by next week I'll have names of teachers.
Mm.
Now they work for the public school. They are public. They're employees of the Winthrop school system. So they have their names right on websites and everything. So they are kind of open season, and hopefully by next week, we won't be here. Sometime in the next show that we do, I will have.
I'm turning into Jack.
I will have. I know more than a couple of names of teachers that are really, because they need to be brought into the light. They're hiding in the shadows of the school anonymously, or so they think. But we have people. We have people that want to get involved, that like what we're doing. They think what we're doing is right. We think what we're doing is right. They think the activists don't like us, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to sit down and have coffee with them anytime soon. So
We haven't talked about this, but I also have they have dissenters, whether the dissenters are on the school committee or whether the dissenters are on the teachers negotiating team.
Oh, let's just drop a give a little hint of things.
Yeah,
to come.
we have in our possession, Winthrop Votes has in their possession a formal offer from the school committee to the teachers union and their retort. Now, I don't want to get lost in this today because
It could be another hour.
Yeah, we could get convoluted, we could go deep, we could stay shallow, but here's the bottom line. The bottom line is the offer is about the counter offer, if you include all the extra goodies, is 3 times more than the original offer. And if they agreed to the original offer, remember all those things our friends campaigned on when they were running, and I'm including my friend Julie and my friend Lane, and not my friend Suzanne. Remember they campaigned, they want to bring back Spanish, they want to bring back this. I've already done the math. We'll talk about it next time. If they would agree to the first proposal here, we might be able to get some of that stuff. Barely, but we might be able to get some. We'll talk about that another time.
All right. Good show,
So-
buddy. This went fast.
Yeah, it did. Hour and 10 minutes again.
Yeah. Getting a little bit longer every show, but that's a good thing. It means we have content.
Yeah. And yeah. So I guess we'll say this, right? Again, all politics starts at the local level.
There you go.
I mean, guys, this is big. We have what you're seeing nationally and you think is out there is not happening. It is now hit your backyard.
Full blown activism in the Winthrop Middle School and probably the high school.
Probably the high school too. Probably they by the way, they were picketing, I guess, or demonstrating in front of all the schools for their raises, which there's a whole lot of questions about that. And there were some recognizable faces that I wouldn't call activists, but there were some people that I did.
Well, a union issue is one thing. Union and contract, that's one thing. I'll say that. Activism is when you're pushing identity politics.
When you know, all right, so let me ask you, if a teacher says to you, and this is not a teacher in our school, but she said it on our Facebook group. If a teacher says to you, hey, yeah, we realize that working to rule only hurts the children, but we got to get our raises. So they know it hurts the children, but they're going to do it anyway.
That's long-standing union stuff. I listen. I'm not going to, it's
kids are in there.
Just my knowledge from my, working with the union, federal union for 18 years, there's union issues and then there's activist issues. I've never had a union activist. A union activist is just basically that guy that works for the teachers union. He's a hired hand.
Yeah.
He's a hired gun. That's
Tyranny.
what they have. Yeah.
Tyranny.
That's what the union has hired guns. Activism, and they're in it for themselves, whereas activism, they're pushing their politics on children or anyone that will listen to them. And they're trying to push the identity politics, the gender politics, the Black Lives Matter issues, and
fine. We'll call them separate issues, but neither of them are both are important.
I agree. I'm just saying. I personally separate union from political activists. So,
I guess you could, but in this case, I think they are one and the same. In this particular case.
Well, I'm leaving the Facebook group then. That's it. I can't stand
goodbye.
You, Todd.
You think I care? Goodbye.
I'm leaving the group.
I'm gonna die alone anyway.
That's it. All right, buddy. All right. Yeah. Like I always say, I want to thank everyone for watching, everyone for sharing. If you like this, share it. If you're on the YouTube channel, smash a like, subscribe, hit the alert button, let you know when we're on. But we're on every Monday night at the same time anyways, or Tuesday night in this case. Like I always say, without you, this engine, anyways. You're the engine that makes this machine run. You got me all flustered, see?
Oh, I can't.
I was all ready to hit the groove. You said your thing, and I'm ready, then you veered off. Yeah, anyways. All right, everybody. We'll see you next show, according to Todd.
Next show, probably Tuesday. Peace out.